you. If it's the first time we're meeting, welcome to my world. Um, we are in a precious, precious time, and I've got such deep excitement and honor. A few things I would love to share with you as we are counting down to the solstice. The summer solstice is going to be here in just one more day. And that is a precious, precious time to really welcome our fullness, welcome our light, step into all of us. So, this is a perfect time for me to share this incredible announcement that I have with you all. I've been kind of like savoring it and refining it because I wanted to make sure that it's pure, it's ready, it's digestible in the most, simple but yet profound form at the same time. And so, what I do is I'm a pleasure coach. And I love creating lives for women that feel in harmony with nature, in harmony with all life. And we've been trained to live in this very masculine kind of world. And right now, it is the time for the feminine to wake up, to embrace her facets, her ebbs and flows, right? And really tap into that feminine essence of ours. Now, I've been kind of like embodying the feminine essence for some time, for a few years now. But on the back end of my business, I was still running it in somewhat of a masculine way of like goals or objectives or linear ways of thinking, of doing things. And since last year, I pivoted it everything. It felt like everything kind of came into a little bit of a disillusion for me, which was perfect. And then revamping it in a way that feels in congruence with myself, my natural cycles, and the cycles of nature. So I am so excited to share this with you. Um, for the last few months, I've been journeying with a lot of the embodiment practices, a lot of nervous system adjustments, and really wiring our nervous system for more energy, for bigger expansion, so we can hold more, right? As healers, as mothers, as lovers, we give a lot to life. We give a lot to people, to our partners, to our kids, to everybody else. And I found that when we can regulate our nervous system, our bodies, and expand that, we can show up more full with um, our cups more full, our tanks more full, more aliveness, more joy. So that's where we're going into this whole summer, is instead of goals, visions, which are also amazing, and I'm very intentional with what I do and how I do it. But mainly, um, how can we tap into the sensations, the pleasure in our body, and wire our nervous system for greatness, for receptivity, for yes more, yes yumminess. And I come from Montreal, and this last weekend we just had a big Grand Prix Formula One weekend, and I remember going out, being dressed up, getting the best dresses, having the whole wardrobe all prepared, and mingling and connecting and meeting amazing people. So there was a lot of flirty energy, juicy energy that's up in the air, right? It's like this Formula One, room, a lot of heat in the air. And I remember coming back home sometimes feeling so empty because, my self esteem and my self worth was not being fully met or fully mirrored out there for me. So it was more about getting, the right dress, the right makeup on, the right shoes, and all the right people and the right parties to be at, the right events. And yet I was feeling so, so empty. So what I'm really excited to bring and to share with you is this confidence. The feminine embodiment really lives in every cell of our body, and until we give it to ourselves, there's no relationship, there's no achievement, there's no numbers in the bank account that can give that satisfaction to us. So what I'm brewing up is a goddess pleasure camp this summer. And I'm so excited about it because it's a journey into the feminine essence of your falling in love with yourself, with pleasure, awakening pleasure, sensuality, aliveness in your body. In the schools of Tantra, very often, um, our life force, right? Like pleasure is referenced and referred to as our life force energy. That's that creative chakra, the orange chakra of the sacral chakra, which is life force, creativity, how we show up and touch everything in life, how we do everything is connected to this life force energy that lives in our womb space. And working with women for years now, I've noticed that a prerequisite for fully feeling pleasure is releasing pressure. I'm stumbling on my words. Yes, pressure is one of them. So removing and releasing all pressure around sexuality, around what it looks like, where it's going, what is on the other side, what's the goal. So removing pressure, but the main container that holds it all together is safety. And again, safety is something that no one can ever give us. There's no partner out there, circumstance out there. If you are in the personal development field, you know that life is just meant to trigger us, right? We'll meet partners that are just meant to trigger us sometimes. And that's just how we evolve, right? That's how the soul grows. So, safety is not something we can expect from anybody else. I've got the most amazing partner, and I'm telling you that there's nobody here that can give you that safety but you. Okay. And part of this program is creating that safety for yourself all around you with your conversations, with your desires, with having a container and the right language communication to create that safety for yourself, and mainly safety in your own body. So if you're listening to this, hello, sweet ones. If you're listening to this, I just want you to touch your body and feel how safety can feel in your body. It's a visceral experience, right? It's just like nursing that baby, holding the baby. The first thing that our body needs, our nervous system need, is big sigh, maybe sighing out through your mouth, is creating safety. And you're going to be able to do that. Along with that, on the journey of the pleasure camp, we're going to have incredible guests. We're going to do some healing around the womb space. I know some of us have a lot of stories there. Most of us do. I think all of us do, whether it's relationships, sexual. Sexuality is such a big, broad thing that it kind of trickles and permeates everything, because it's not just, there is no sexuality without an emotion attached to that. So it's deeply connected to our emotions, to our desires, our deep fundamental needs, as well as relationships, right? And visions for life. A lot of times it is intertwined with a life partner, where it's going. So this is not about, anything relational necessarily, but you're going to be very empowered with having tools to articulate your needs. And taking the also tools and taking the time to offer yourself that safety piece. And along with that, with the healing journey of the womb, we're going to have some amazing practices in there that are as well energetic as nutritional, because our wombs fluctuate through cycles, and the nutritional aspect of it is as important, because our hormones can go out of whack, and if we don't sustain it and create a solid container for them, that also affects how we think, how we feel, and how we are, right? Are we grounded or not? So, what else? What else? What else? I'm super excited, and I'm offering the first class as a master class, as an intro class. The link is somewhere below, or also text me and DM me for the link to the master class, and I'm happy to give that to you. That's going to happen next Tuesday, the 28th at 10 o'clock Pacific and 1 p.m. Eastern time. So if you are feeling called, you'll know if you're called to this work. It's not for anybody. It's a particular work that we're doing. right? And it's not just for any woman who's just maybe interested. You know, if it's time for you to embrace your sexuality, embrace your sensuality and your sexual nature, and allow it to be integrated in your everyday life. I sure use this energy in my business. I use this nurturing, yummy energy as well with my kid, so like embodying it, embracing it into all of life is key. And it's deeply connected to our creativity, how we come out, how we show up in life. Um, it will absolutely, what I've seen with my clients, the women I worked with in the past and have done this work before, is they're syncing up with their cycles and they're regulating their system so they're more at peace with the ups and the downs. They know how to, manage their emotions really, really well. Their pleasure is no longer dependent on a partner or having the right partner or the right setting, the right technique, the right, whatever fantasy, whatever flavors you want for sexuality. But they're a lot more empowered, to either invite, create, and be responsible for that, for their own pleasure. What else? Message me if you have any questions around it. And it's one thing I guarantee is it's always it's deep work, but at the same time, we don't have to get stuck up with, all the heaviness and the healing of it. It is always on the upper side. It's juicy, it's yummy, it's fun. And I love doing this with women and creating these spaces that are specifically made for women to unpack it. Time has come for us to be sovereign in our bodies, our hearts, our relationships. And the more we can offer that to ourselves and in a direct container, with our partners, our families, the more we are lifting and rising this energy up in the world, that it creates more, embodied communities and thriving communities as well. All right, loves. Much love to you all. We have a community event as well for the summer solstice tomorrow. And if you want to join us for that, also just drop a comment, summer solstice, or message me. And I'm happy to send you the link for that. And if not, have a beautiful, beautiful summer. Lots of good vibes. Much love to everyone. Bye.